It was the alleged cult that shook the country to its core. It was called NXIVM, led by this man, Keith Raniere, known to his followers as Vanguard. Now, Keith is known as prisoner number 570051774. Since we first brought you the story, Raniere has been arrested, formally accused of branding and starving women, and could face life behind bars. Today, we have exclusive details about the suspected cult from Dynasty star Catherine Oxenberg, whose daughter India almost didn't escape. Plus, our team went inside the courtroom with Keith himself at a recent hearing that could help determine his fate. Crime correspondent Melissa Moore has the story.
The explosive claims made headlines across the country. Based in Albany, New York, and also known as Executive Success Programs, NXIVM offers courses in the development of human potential, utilizing methods created by its founder, Keith Raniere. And an estimated 16,000 people have enrolled in NXIVM-offered courses. Last year, we traveled to NXIVM's headquarters.
I'm on my way to see if I can get a statement.
But blinds were drawn as soon as we arrived, and the door locked. Brendan Lyons, an Albany-based investigative reporter, wasn't surprised.
In 2012, we published a series. It examined both the co-founder, Keith Raniere, his life history, and also allegations from cult experts. One told us in 2012 that NXIVM, in his view, is an extreme cult.
Actress Catherine Oxenberg agrees. She became an outspoken NXIVM critic, openly petitioning for the release of her daughter, India, who'd been involved with the organization for 6 years. And believed to be in DOS, its alleged secretive sex cult that branded women. As her interviews thrust the secretive and litigious organization into the spotlight, further claims of mental, sexual, and physical abuse spiraled. We attended a recent NXIVM hearing in Brooklyn, hoping to gain further insight into the secret organization. Cameras were not allowed.
I was really surprised who showed up in court today. I was only expecting maybe Allison Mack to be there.
I counted with 18 people there on the defense side. I think all the defense were there except for one, and the other one, and she appeared over the phone.
Nancy Salzman, right. Yeah. But even Keith Raniere was there.
Crime correspondent Melissa Moore joins us now, along with actress Catherine Oxenberg. Her daughter, India, is just one of thousands of women who allegedly fell victim to Keith Raniere. Now, Melissa was inside the courtroom at a hearing that all the defendants attended, as you just heard, including Keith Raniere and Smallville actress Allison Mack. So what happened at the hearing?
Well, actually, I want to start with what I saw. What I saw was that very intimidating if I was on the other end. And now I understand why it took so long to bring Keith Raniere into the courtroom. Because in that courtroom, there was 2 tables, and one was a boat of people, over 24 high-profile lawyers, and then we have like 3 people on the government side. And so in this meeting, it was a chance for all the lawyers to represent their defendants and motion for a dismissal of the claims. Well, the judge saw through this and made sure that the claims were going to pursue to court.
You looked at Keith Raniere in the eyes. Yeah. What did you see? What's he like in person?
He was very observant. He was looking, but he was also insulated by these high-profile attorneys. So he was a little bit still sure of himself. He's not the same, his hair is gray, he looks a little bit more haggard, you know, from being in jail. But definitely he was insulated with his attorneys.
Catherine, how and when did you first hear about Keith Raniere and NXIVM, the alleged cult?
In February of 2011, a friend of mine reached out to me and she said she just did this incredible self-help program, both personal and business development, and that I should come to an intro. And I put it off, and finally I went. And India's my daughter, my eldest, happened to be at home with me. And I said, hey, do you want to come with me? I really wasn't looking forward to it. And nothing about the program or how they presented it was interesting at all. It seemed very kind of run-of-the-mill self-help. Anyway, India asked me on the spot if I would sign up and do the class with her. And the idea that my 19-year-old daughter wanted to spend 5 days with me trumped any misgivings that I had about whether or not this was going to be a valuable process.
So you went, but you eventually dropped relationships with NXIVM, didn't get engaged in it, but India stayed behind.
I took classes. She became part of the community. They really sucked her in. She became a coach. So no longer was it just a tool, it became a lifestyle. And I was very concerned about that because I saw her letting go of friendships, letting go of her boyfriend, not having any other interests in life, and suddenly it became her life.
So Catherine, you get a call from a friend who says your daughter is in danger. What did she tell you?
She told me that she had left the organization, and she said, "You need to save your daughter." And I really didn't know what she was talking about because I had no idea that it was a dangerous organization. And then she started to tell me that at the epicenter of the group was this secret group called DOS, and that it was women, recruiting women, and that Keith was the ultimate master. It was based on a master-slave hierarchy, and they were meant to recruit women apparently to have sex with Keith, and that they were on starvation diets, that they were sleep deprived, that there was all of this punishment in place if they failed at their assignments. So she's downloading all this information, and part of me is wondering whether or not she's telling the truth. Whether, I mean...
So this is your friend telling you this?
Well, she wasn't really a friend. She was somebody that I knew when I took classes in NXIVM. And she took a risk telling me because she was terrified. She was terrified she was being followed. And you think, okay, so these people are paranoid, but the truth is this group has done things and has done things to me included. They go after people legally, they sue, they harass, they're funded by hundreds of millions of dollars of Bronfman money. So they are notoriously litigious and dangerous.
Mm-hmm. In this conversation or around it, you learned that India was a master. What does that mean?
She was now being tasked with recruiting her own slaves. I mean, the whole concept was so outlandish to me, so I didn't know what to believe. I just knew that I mean, this is what this woman said to me. She said, educate yourself. Learn everything you need to know about cults. Go, you know, spend time with experts. And I did. I made an appointment the very next day. I downloaded every book, watched every documentary I could to understand what I could do if this was really happening to get her out.
Catherine, you believe Keith Raniere targeted your daughter. Why do you think he picked her?
Well, I think he targeted her because she's so innocent. And my daughter is just a lovely human being. And she's talented, and she's friendly, and she's outgoing, and people trust her. So she is a perfect person to target, to recruit other people, because she makes other people feel safe and comfortable.
Right. Up next, an exclusive update on India's recovery and Keith Raniere's ex-girlfriend. She's here, speaking out for the first time since his arrest. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new.